Yes, what's going on? I am Jay London and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel, FPL of the Day. I'm still calling it a new YouTube channel because we've only just begun. And in this video, we are talking about Premier League football, which is back. We're going to take a look back at game week 1, see how I did, see how you guys did, and also look ahead to game week 2. We're talking about transfers, captaincy, selection, and all of that stuff. So before we dive in, as always, please, if you are discovering this video, this page for the first time, subscribe. I need all the help that I can get. The more subscribers I get, the higher I climb up the ranks, and then the more content and better content I can do for you guys to help you along with the season. So once you've done that, let's dive in. Game week 2 selection. Boom. So I'm just going to throw it out there straight away. 101 points. We couldn't have asked for a better start. Well, we could have. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But 101 points in game week 1 without a wild card, a triple captain, a bench boost, or anything like that is absolutely amazing. It wasn't even a double game week or triple game week. So if you're new to FPL, unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Do not get used to that. That is not something that often happens. A load of players scored, a load of players got a whole heap of points. So obviously there were some really, really high scores. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it in the community. Loads of people actually reached the 100 club. So if that wasn't you, I'm sorry. You should have went with Salah and Fernandes. And please watch the videos because I will make sure that you have players like that in your team so you can join the rest of the club, all right? That's the gloating done. Let's have a look at the team that performed in game week 1. Starting with Sanchez, who did amazing, right? Yeah, right. He lasted 4 minutes. 4 minutes before he conceded, but it's all good. Like we said in the previous videos, it was all about selecting a keeper that didn't cost a lot of money. I'd be a lot more annoyed if I kept Ederson and then Ederson obviously didn't keep a clean sheet as well, and then that would have reduced a whole heap of money out from my squad. So if you was watching any of my pre-season videos, you would have seen that Aaron Cresswell was a person that I had to have in my team. Last season, he was doing bits, he haunted me, so I needed him this season. He conceded, but he repaid us with a goal. 7 points, you absolute beauty. Shout out to Aaron Cresswell. And then the man of the moment, Bruno. 20 points from Bruno Fernandes. All this talk at the start of the season, in pre-season, Fernandes in or Fernandes out, he has absolutely punished all the people that didn't select him. 20 points, a hat-trick against Leeds, absolutely amazing. Alongside him was Mason Greenwood, which we put a lot of trust in. We knew he was going to start, we knew he was going to be attacking, and what a finish. He had one chance, one shot on goal the whole game, and he finished it. Absolutely amazing from Mason. And then Salah, there's not much to say. Like I was saying all pre-season, if you haven't got Salah in your team, you're making a huge mistake. And look at what he did. He just about managed to get a goal, but look how many points he got. 34 points with the captaincy on. Absolutely smashed it. Him and Bruno got 54 points between them. Amazing stuff. Amazing scenes. Onto the front line, Mikel Antonio. 13 points. He missed a penalty. He pretty much missed an open goal. He was involved in nothing in the first half. He managed to bag all the bonus points and come away with 13. We knew it anyway. As we said, if he's fit and West Ham are playing, Mikel has to be in your fantasy Premier League team. And then I went for Dominic Calvert-Lewin instead of Ings, which was really annoying because Ings got a goal in the 97th minute. He scored a penalty. He wouldn't have taken that penalty if El Ghazi was still on the pitch, but he managed to sneak some points in. So the decision was justified. We went for Calvert-Lewin at the last minute. We saw that he was fit. We saw he was available to start. So Calvert-Lewin was pretty much a must-have, a must-own. I'm really happy because he had a lot of chances. Richarlison was on flames as well, setting up loads of bits. Luca Dean was just putting in crosses all over the place. So I'm hoping going into the next game week that Calvert-Lewin is going to be a little bit of a differential for me and he's going to score all of the points. Lastly, Tony, Tony, he was a player that I was umming and ahhing about. We went for him in the end. He didn't really have much goal involvement. He was kind of deployed as a person to just put a lot of pressure on the Arsenal defence and allow the rest of the team to push forward. So I'm not panicking yet. He's only 6.5 million. He's very highly owned as well. So we'll see what he does in the next game against Palace. Fingers crossed. And last and all means least this week, yeah, the person that let the team down was Rafinha. This man here. So it was frustrating for me because he's a player that I always wanted. He's a player that I wanted to keep in my team throughout the whole of the pre-season. So I went with him. I would have been really annoyed if I took him out and then he scored. But something was telling me to take him out and put in Benrahma. I wasn't sure if Benrahma was going to start. I wasn't sure how much bits he was going to do. But I also had a feeling that he was a person that I really wanted to own. And then I went with Rafinha in the end. And then look what happens. What was even more frustrating is he had a chance. I didn't really expect too much from the Man United game, but that chance that he had in the second half, on nine times out of 10, he's finishing that. So it was just really annoying that he didn't put that away. But okay, cool. We're going to keep faith with him and we're going to see how he does in the next game week. So, yep, 101 points. Cannot complain. I am a little bit disappointed because I was very close to having players like Wilson and Benrahma in my team. I chose to go for people like Rafinha and Tony instead, but it's all good. You can't complain about 101 points. We are well on our way. Amazing game week 1. Let's look at game week 2. All right, so we're going to start with the back line. Sanchez stays in goal. As I say, he was a little bit unlucky in that first game and we put him in not expecting too many clean sheets. It was all about just saving some money and putting that into the rest of the team. So hopefully he can reward us in the next game. All right. Next up is Alexander-Arnold. He is going nowhere. Playing against Burnley. Liverpool looked really solid in their last game, and Burnley are not a team that score a lot of goals. Alongside him, I have gone with Tsimikas because we put him in. We put him in the team. He's there. He is available. He's been there since week 1. We didn't play him last week because we went with Aaron Cresswell, which kind of worked out because Cresswell got 1 point more than he did, but he is a player that a lot of people benefited from in the first game week, and I was a little bit jealous because obviously I own him. I've got him there. He was on my bench. So this week I've decided to start him because I have full faith in that Liverpool defence against Burnley. Luke Shaw is Luke Shaw. Again, we said it, highest owned player in the game. He's very capable of a clean sheet against Southampton and even maybe 2 assists. Who knows? So we're going to see what he does against Southampton. He's also a player that's going nowhere. Man United's fixtures look really good. And yeah, Shaw is a player that is going to stay in my team for a little while. Hopefully his price is going to continue to stay as it is. It's not going to go down because there are quite a few 5.5 million defenders that he can switch to. But for now, he's staying put. Sticking with Man United against a Southampton team that have been spanked so many times in the past. We're going to go with Fernandes and Greenwood. They are going nowhere. They impressed last week. We knew they was going to do it. We did a lot of research. We spoke about it so much on FPL of the day and they rewarded us. So 100% Fernandes and Greenwood are going to be on fire again this game. I'm sure of it. I can see it. Man United are just on attack at the moment. So hopefully Fernandes can score another hat-trick and so can Greenwood. Who knows? Moving on swiftly to Mo Salah. Mo Salah. He's playing Burnley like we said about Alexander-Arnold and Tsimikas. He's playing at home in front of the Kop, in front of the Liverpool fans. Salah is a person that you need in your team. I feel really sorry for people who didn't put him in at the beginning. Well, I don't feel sorry for them, but I understand the pain if you didn't put him in at the beginning of the season, because now he's going to be so hard to get to. You've got to have to like rip your team apart in order to get Salah in. And as the games go on, he's just going to score more and more points. So Salah is a person that we know is going to do well next game week. He's 100% in the starting lineup, arguably first name on the team sheet every week for like the next 5 game weeks. Then we move on to Rafinha. Rafinha, this is your chance now. I've got my eye on you. You disappointed in game week 1. Game week 2 is against Everton. You're in front of your own fans. And I'm hoping for at least just one return. Because quite a few people actually didn't go with him in the end. And he is a player that we know is capable of so much more than he did in game week 1. So hopefully, fingers crossed, yeah, Rafinha is going to deliver exactly what we know he can deliver. I'm going to stick with him for this season, for the start of the season. I'm going to stick with him for game week 2 because we put him in the team not just for 1 game week. We put him in for the first sort of 3, 4, 5 fixtures, and Leeds fixtures do get a lot better as time goes on as well. So I wanted to make sure he was in the team, so I'm avoiding any price rises. Rafinha, please do us proud here at FPL of the day so we can look back at this and we was right for sticking with you. Next up, let's have a look at this front line. right in the middle there is Tony. We are sticking with him because, again, he's a player that we put in our team, not just for game week 1, not just for game week 2, but for game week 3, 4, and Brentford's fixtures are looking not too bad. And I'm hoping that he's going to get involved in the goals. He's going to get a penalty. He's going to get an assist. He's going to score a hat-trick. Come on, Tony. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is, again, a player that I'm hoping for big things because he's playing a lead side that love to attack, especially coming off the back of their last defeat. They've got something to prove now, playing against their home fans as well. I'm hoping that they're going to go all guns blazing and leave a lot of space for Calvert-Lewin to get in. And after I was watching the Everton game, there were a lot of crosses in the box for Calvert-Lewin. It looks like Benitez is basically going with that tactic. Get the ball in the box and get Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the end of it. So hopefully Calvert-Lewin can score a hat-trick and start the season like he did last season. And last but not least, the man, Antonio. The only guy that can miss a penalty, that can miss pretty much an open goal and come away with 13 points. He's 100% in the team. So onto the bench, not much to see here. Ben Foster is just there to make up the numbers. He's not going anywhere. He's just staying put. Sorry, Foster. And Cresswell is probably the one person that I would love to be in the team. If I could have 12 players, then obviously he'd be on there. But it's out of him and Rafinha at the moment. So again, if Rafinha disappoints, he has got a mark next to his name already. It is very, very likely that he is coming out of the team. The reason I've put Cresswell on the bench is because he's playing Leicester. And Leicester did actually create quite a few chances in the last game. West Ham's defence did look very shaky in the last game. And the odds of Cresswell scoring again 2 games in a row is very unlikely. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the bum. Marty's there as well, again, to make up numbers. Brownhill didn't even start, which was just weird. So 2 questions that I hear you crying. What about transfers, Jay? Are you not going to put in any Man City players? Well, the answer is no. I like the look of this team. And I think I'm going to stick with it for game week 2. I'd much rather have 2 transfers going into game week 3 or making 1 transfer in game week 3 and then holding them until after the international break and seeing what happens, seeing who comes back from injury, seeing what happens with Lukaku, Kane, players like that, and then allow me to have a little bit more freedom and not take any hits. I set this team up so that it's actually decent, so it's actually good for game week 1, 2 and 3 and not just game week 1. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us in the bum and it does pay off. There are a few players that I do want though. There are a few players on the watch list. I might do another video about the watch list, but players that I'm looking at that I'm a little bit worried about is Mahrez. De Bruyne is back as well. Callum Wilson was a player that I had in a lot of my drafts and then he went and scored. He looked really attacking as well. Mbeumo actually looks like a better option than Tony and Said. Benrahma needs to get in the team at some point. Obviously, we're keeping an eye on the transfers. We're going to see what happens with West Ham and Jesse. If Jesse doesn't go to West Ham, Benrahma is going to be a person that has to come in eventually because he looked so attacking in that first game. And we knew it. We saw it in pre-season and we didn't put him in the team, which is just so annoying. But again, he is a person who is on the wish list, on the watch list. And so is Son. Again, we're just waiting to see what happens with Kane. But either way, Son is a good pick. But I'm not ripping my team apart to put in any of these players that I mentioned. I'm going to stick. We're going to stay with this. And we're going to see how we get along. Captaincy is debatable. It's either going to be Fernandes or it's going to be Salah. At the moment, it's on Fernandes. It's on Bruno. But it could easily change to Salah. So keep an eye on the Twitter. And I'll let you know with what I go with in the end. So there you go. There you have it. That is the game week 2 selection and also a look back at game week 1. What an amazing time. 101 points. Amazing start to the week. And we're really, really happy about that. We just wish that Rafinha could have done a little bit better. But let me know down in the comments, what was your score? How did you do? I know a lot of people did really, really well. A lot of people hit the 100 club. So if that was you, let me know in the comments down below. Do you feel like I'm making a mistake by not transferring anyone in? Am I silly to not go with Mahrez against Norwich? Does Son need to be in the team? Does Lukaku need to be in there? Do we rip the team apart in order to do that? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, please, please, please do subscribe. Brand new YouTube channel. I need all the help that I can get. Once you've done that, I'll see you on the next one. Good luck.